All right, you lot, cool down. I wish you were as lively when you arrived first thing in the morning instead of looking like a flock of bleary-eyed sheep.
Listen, who's talking?
Hey, don't you be cheeky with me, Craig Russell. I'll put it around you've only got one hair on your chest. Hurrah. What kept you?
Oh, that flaming dog at 2 Mount Pleasant. Let me in the garden, but won't let me out again. I had to wait to be rescued. Oh, that flaming dog.
Oh, it's only a scratty little thing, Jenny.
Yeah, well, it might be little, but it's got these fangs. See you after.
Jenny?
Yeah?
I know about your dad losing his job.
Mavis told you.
Well, I more or less winkled it out of her. Well, you know what she's like when she's got a secret. She looks more guilty than a mass poisoner.
Actually, I'm glad you know. I'm worried about him, Rita. He's hardly eating and he's not sleeping. He's like we're still on at 2 o'clock this morning.
Well, he'll be upset. How long has he worked for this firm?
20-odd years.
They fire him just like that.
Yeah, well, he weren't the only one. Rationalisation or something they call it.
Rationalisation. It's a fancy name for a smacking face.
I think his pride's it more than anything. That's why he's not told anyone. Not even you. He says it's his problem and it's up to him to sort it out.
Has he tried to get another job?
Oh, yeah. He's had no luck, though. Reckons it's 'cause he's too old.
He's not old.
Well, he says if he don't get another job soon, he's going to get on his bike and try somewhere else. Down south.
Down south?
I've only just got my dad back. Now it looks like I'm going to lose him again. 'Cause I'm not moving down south. Don't know how you feel.
Oh, I'll sort things out, don't you worry. Who does Lynch think she is? Taking on Sally 1 minute and sacking her the next. Even the factory managers weren't as cruel as that in the 30s, and they had the power of life and death over you.
Yeah, well, certainly killed off us getting married. Can't afford it if Sally's not working.
Ooh, just wait till I get my hands on that Lynch. She's got too big for her boots, you know. That was obvious when they made her manageress of the old Rovers, but now they've dolled it all up for her. Well, it's a case of a daisy thinking it's a sunflower, isn't it?
Sally wasn't sacked, Mrs. O. She packed her job in.
Oh, yeah, but she was provoked, wasn't she? Deliberately provoked, if you ask me, so that she would tell Lynch what to do with the job. And why was she provoked? To make way for Betty Turpin to come back.
Yeah, we'll go around making insinuations like that, and you could be out of a job, so be careful.
Oh. I'll get Sally her job back, don't you worry.
How long you been here?
Well, about an hour.
Keen on, aren't you?
Well, it's going to be a short day for me. Got an appointment to see my solicitor this afternoon. A letter came this morning.
See? You're going through with it then, the divorce?
Got no choice, have I?
You could always.
What?
Make a fresh start. Carry on as though nothing ever happened.
There's nothing I'd like better.
Well then.
I've forgiven her in my mind 100 times. What the hell I've said? She did one daft thing, who doesn't? She's sorry. But the next minute I'm feeling all bitter and twisted again, hating her. I don't want to hate her, Kevin. I can't help it. It's like we're in this runaway car, all 3 of us, and we can't stop it.
It's too late when you're divorced, Brian.
You don't have to tell me that, mate.
Anyway, don't even look like I'm getting married, let alone divorced.
Well, Sally changed her mind, has she?
No. Packed her job in at the Rovers. Can't afford it without her wage.
Yeah, well, think yourself lucky.
Lucky?
Yep, because if you don't get wed, you don't get lumbered like I have.
You don't mean that.
No. No. I don't mean it. I like being married.
To Gail.
Well, I've not been married to anybody else, have I?
Can I have a packet of tissues? I've got a bit of a sniff.
Oh, dear. Well, I hope it doesn't develop into something nasty.
What, like double pneumonia? Well, knowing my luck.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm very sorry about it. Thanks. And if there's anything I can do, you know.
Do you know the amount of people who've said that you'd think there would be? Anyway, if you hear me sneezing in the cafe, evacuate. I get terrible colds, and they're very catchy.
I'll try to remember that. Bye.
Bye, love.
Dear, what is wrong with human beings? I mean, we seem to find it impossible to be happy. Well, at least for more than brief periods.
Well, how can they be happy? It's like you keep saying, it's life, when they've forever been kicked in teeth.
Who do you blame then? God?
Well, I blame somebody. I mean, look at Alan. It's not his fault that he's been made redundant and unhappy. Oh, to heck with it. I'm going round to see him.
Hey, well, he might not thank you for it. You know, Rita, remember what Jenny said? He wants to work it out on his own. Men are like that, aren't they? They can't bear people to see them looking a failure, and they certainly don't want anybody to see them when they're down.
Eey, men and their flaming rules. You know, that's mainly what's wrong with young Brian, isn't it? Wounded macho.
Oh, come on, Rita. I mean, could you forgive your husband if he had a baby by another woman? That's asking a lot.
Well, I bet he'd forgive her if she pinched all their savings and blew it on a mink coat. And as I recall the Ten Commandments, stealing's just as big a sin as adultery. But Brian wouldn't see stealing as a slight against him, against his masculinity. Well, I'm not going to let Alan sit and stew in his masculinity, if I can help it. I mean, what are mates for? Even female mates.
And of course you might also change his mind about going to live in another part of the country.
I can do that as well.
Morning, Hilda. Hiya, you look like you had a belting beauty sleep. Or did you wear a face pack last night?
Wish I could say the same for you.
It was only a joke.
Yes, well, I've never been very enamoured of your sense of humour.
All right, Hilda, what's your beef? I take it you have got a beef, or do you like making more noise than a clog dancer?
Yes, I have got a beef. And you know very well what it is.
Of course I do. You've just read in the paper that the board of directors are getting a 10th hour year rise and you want 10th hour as well.
Well, I certainly work a damn sight harder than they do, and that's a fact. Directors. Just an even easier way of making a good living than being an executive.
Oh, is that a dig at me? Because, I mean, that's what I am, isn't it? Well, a junior executive.
Very junior.
Pardon?
Nothing. Any road to get to the point.
I wish you would.
Why have you sacked young Sally?
She walked out on me.
Only because you made her position here intolerant.
I put a very reasonable proposition to her.
Well, reasonable to you, perhaps, but not to her. Her and Kevin have only had to cancel their wedding plans because she's lost her job.
They've never.
They have.
Well, I didn't know.
Oh, obviously not. So when are you going to give her a job back?
I'm not going to, Hilda. But she can come back part-time like I suggested.
Well, that's no good to her. She needs to get a full week in. Weddings cost money, you know. Then they've got to find somewhere to live and set it all up. It's all expense. Oh, they'd get married on fresh air and live on love if they could, bless them.
I am not going to give Sally back her job full-time, Hilda, much as I'd like to.
You can afford to take Betty Turpin back on?
Exactly. Because I need her to do the grub for me, which Sally can't do. Well, only after fashion. I know you think I'm being hard-hearted, but you have to be on my side of the bar. We're not living in the 60s and 70s now, Hilda, when the problem weren't getting the jobs. It were persuading folk to turn up and do 'em. Nobody were a bigger skiver than me. I never worked Mondays and Fridays for years. But them days have gone, Hilda, and nobody can fetch 'em back. Unless we find a few gold mines in North Sea next time. You either make a decent living or you scrape by. And I intend to make a decent living. And if that means hiring Betty instead of Sally to keep this pub making a profit, then I'd cheese. Now, them are the facts of life, Hilda. It's the way of the world, as I think you very well know.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a very nice world if you can't give a leg up to a nice young couple like Kevin and Sally. All they want to do is get wed.
The world was fine, Hilda. Till Adam and Eve appeared. He started wanting a new car, she wanted a fitted kitchen.
Hey, you're not suggesting we go back to wearing them loincloths, are you?
Well, I don't know about you. I reckon I'd have looked stunning in one.
I think I might have looked like Gandhi.
Oh, hello, Rita. Hello, Gloria. I don't suppose you've seen Alan this morning, have you?
No, I haven't. I can't remember the last time I did see him, in fact.
Oh.
Nothing wrong, is there?
No, I just wanted to see him about something. It can keep. Anyway, how are you keeping?
Oh, fine. You?
Fine.
love. Hey, do you mind baked beans for your dinner, Kevin? Only I've not had time to do any shopping this morning.
That's great. You managed to have a word with Bet?
Yes, I did.
And?
Well, she can take Sally back part-time, but that's all.
That's no good.
No, I told her that. But she reckons she's one of your executives now, so she can only listen to what the till's telling her.
Yeah. So what's new?
It's me. Hiya.
Oh, hello, love. Hey, if you've come for your dinner, it's only baked beans.
Oh, no, thanks, Mrs. Ogden. I've not come for my dinner. Kevin, I've got some fantastic news.
Oh?
There's a job going at Tanner's Arms 6 days a week, and I can have it. I know the girl is leaving, Barbara Middleton. She's put a good word in for me.
Hang on, Tanner's Arms, that's miles away.
It's only 20 minutes on bus.
Yeah, 6 days a week. I'd never see you.
Look, Kevin, do you want us to get married or not?
Yeah, but I don't want you working there.
It's a job and it's a wage.
Well, another thing. You know what that Tanner's is like? It's full of flash blokes with flash cars after one thing.
Don't you trust me?
Yeah, it's not that.
It doesn't sound like it to me. I'm doing it for the money for us.
Yeah, well, I don't want you working there.
Then we can't get married.
What's that I can smell?
It's called demure. I think it's the perfect perfume for me.
Smells like potato pie or even hot pot. Don't tell me you've been trying to make a hot pot. Now, I know the cuisine of this pub's gone down the nick, but that is taking a risk. There's very few people can make a good hot pot, and in my experience, women in particular don't seem to be able to manage that robust yet delicate flavour.
So you won't be having any?
No, I've too much respect for my internal workings.
Hey, Anna.
I said better you than me, love. I said better you than me.
Take no notice of him, love. It's delicious, I know, because I've had some.
They're bound to say that, aren't they? Because they look at them, they've made it. And now, look, honestly, do you think either of them could make a good hot pot, I ask you?
No, I don't. Do I look as if I could make a good hot pot, Percy Sugden?
Mrs. Turpin, I didn't know you
He
were...
reckons that your hot pot is rubbish, Betty. Isn't that right, Gloria?
Oh, the names he's called it.
I was under total misapprehension. I thought one of these two had made it, not your good self.
Oh, you stranger to the truth, Percy Sugden. He reckons women can't make hot pot for toffee, Betty.
Oh, does he now? Oh, well, you won't be wanting any then, will you? Because you're not going to get any if you did. He's banned from eating my hot pot, and I mean that.
They look like they're enjoying it, don't they?
Yeah, like they haven't eaten for weeks.
You don't know what he's talking about. It's delicious.
Is that your mouth? I can see watering, Percy.
He's definitely close to tears.
Won't have your flipping hot pot now, I was starving to death.
We're taking orders for tomorrow, though, Percy.
Yeah, we'd want your money now, though.
What you been doing to Percy? Bringing him down a peg or two.
It's a lovely feeling.
Rita, you're not wrong. It's him. There's something going on there.
Alan's in a very black mood.
Rita's not exactly full of the joys either.
Do you mind if I join you?
No, of course not. Sit down.
I've been looking all over for you.
Oh. Would you like a drink?
Before I say yes, I've got something to say. I know about you losing your job, and I don't see how I can drink with you without the subject cropping up.
Vodka and tonic, is it?
Maybe they're having a bit of a rough ride at the moment. Wouldn't surprise me one little bit.
Flaming Nora.
Aye. Brewed up, have you?
Just switched the kettle on. How'd you get on?
Oh, was it in and out like a flash? It's like a conveyor belt.
Yeah, nothing new to him, knows it? Divorce proceedings.
It's all forms anyhow. Forms and big words like affidavit and decree nisi.
Do it on purpose, solicitors. Sound posh and clever. Doctors do the same, you know, like when they call something like diverticulitis.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Some of my auntie had once. So what's next?
Well, he sends me divorce petition to county court.
Court, eh?
Never wanted to. I could say that Gail and be married to her had nothing to do with me anymore.
Do you want to?
I don't know. I've never been absolutely sure I'm doing the right thing.
Suppose that's how a lot of divorced people feel.
Aye. Anyway, like they say, it's in the hands of me solicitor. If you manage to sort your problem out...
Joking, aren't you? Had a big row with Sally at dinner time. Only wants to work at the Tanners, don't she? No way, I said. So she went off the hook, didn't she?
Sounds like you want to see a solicitor.
You know, I think that's what's wrong with the system. I think we should all have to see solicitors before we get wed. You know, get permission from court, like...
Well, I don't think there'll be many people getting married.
No?
Oh, well, thanks, love. Well, there's one consolation, I suppose. I'm loaded for the first time in my life. Well, relatively, anyway.
Well, I don't quite...
The redundancy cheque.
Oh.
Although Jenny's already spent it. In her mind, anyway.
Why don't you blow some of it in? Enjoy yourself. A lot do.
Yeah. What, buy a big car and open an account with a bookie?
Why not?
It's not really me, that, is it? Burdened as I am with my non-conformist conscience, on my mother's side.
And I thought you were just a miserable so-and-so. You'll get another job, Alan. I know you will. Look, have you had a word with Mike Baldwin? He knows a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a good idea, yeah.
Jenny says you were thinking of looking, well, away.
Well, you got to do something, haven't you? You can't sit around waiting for a miracle to happen, because miracles don't happen.
I suppose not.
Especially when you're my age.
You're not old.
Do you know, I've never really felt my age. Well, apart from the odd twinge in the left knee and a bit of stiffness when I get up in the morning, yeah.
You should see me staggering downstairs in winter.
But, you know, being made redundant and being turned down for jobs, I suddenly thought, God, I've had it. I'm past it. It's all downhill from now on. And, you know, it really made me feel ill. I had no energy. I had headaches, waking up sweating in the middle of the night.
Oh, love, I know how you must feel. Well, that's daft. I don't know how you feel. I don't know how a fella feels when he thinks he's on the scrap heap. But you're not on it. I mean, look at you. You're a smart, good-looking fella. If you walked through my door, I'd pick you up like a shot.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence, anyway.
I mean it. You'll get a job soon, somewhere.
Yeah, of course I will.
You know your trouble?
What?
You're just a bit diffident.
I thought that's what women liked about me.
Women might, but would prospective employers.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mrs. Fairclough.
That's a lot better.
Thanks for making me feel better.
You ought to have known I would.
Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Ogden. Never woken you up.
No, it's all right, love. I was just having 40 winks. Always been a cat napper like Mr. Churchill.
Is Kevin not home yet?
No, he shouldn't be long, though.
Just come round to say I'm sorry. You know, for losing my rag at dinner time.
You're a bit quick-tempered, aren't you, Sally?
Quick to anger, but quicker to contrition. That's what our teacher used to say about me.
Well, if you are going to get wed eventually, I think you'll have to try and, well, not exactly do everything he tells you to, but try and fit in with him a bit more.
Yeah, I know. He was right about that job. My friend said she spent most of her time fending off fellas with big bellies and big wallets.
My Stan had a big belly, but I don't think he ever owned a wallet in his life.
But I'm going to have to get a job, Mrs. Ogden, or we'll never get married. I reckon we need at least 130 quid a week, and that's without HP debts, you know, for furniture and stuff. And that's not counting clothes and bus fares and records and things.
Well, you could live without records.
No, I couldn't. Don't think Kevin could. But what worries me most, Mrs. Ogden, well, if we don't get married now, we're just going to drift on together until we drift apart. And that'd be a real pity. Because I think we're dead right for each other. And how many other couples can say that?
Hey, such certainty. And how old are you?
19. But being sure of each other, don't suppose that solves our problem, does it?
Well, it's supposed to. You're supposed to be able to live on fresh air.
What, with an appetite like Kevin has?
Well, you can talk.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Sally.
Hmm?
I've got an idea.
Oh, yeah?
Just hang on a minute while I make sure Kevin's tea's not burning.
Thought you said you was only going to be working here part-time, Betty.
That was supposed to be the idea, yeah.
She was such a big success, this dinner. Folk were even asking for her autograph. I thought, this woman is indispensable, I thought.
Now, the truth is, she's given Gloria the night off to go and see some chap.
Oh, that's another thing about you, Betty. You know, you're not likely to give me any aggro in that department, are you? You know, you mind wandering off on a pair of men's trousers rather than your hot pot.
Might surprise you one day, lady.
That's the spirit, Betty. You're never too old for naughties. That's what I keep telling Al. Once a fortnight.
Oh. Hello, Percy. How are you, cock?
Jack Dover tells you want to see me.
Yes, about this dinner time.
When I was publicly humiliated.
Now, that's a bit strong. We were only pulling your leg.
She meant it.
Well, anyway, Betty's got something for you, haven't you, Betty?
Yep. Your own special little hot pot, Percy.
You'll not get round me as easy as that.
Now, come on, it's the best end of neck.
Spuds, slightly browned on top.
I shall count to 5. 1,
I bet Phyllis
2,
feels a jump at it.
3, 4, 5.
Go on then, you've talked me into it. And I'll have half a bit to make up for that drink I didn't get at dinner time.
You're a hard man, Percy. Go on, give him a pint, Betty. Hello, my love. How are you?
Not so bad.
Keep your pecker up, eh?
Yeah. What are you having? I'll have an orange juice.
One orange juice with a gin in it.
What a good time to you.
I can't stop long.
You've got time for a quick drink, then we'll go and picnic you up and I shall drive you both home.
You'll be spoiling me if you're not careful.
Do you know, I wish I could, love, just to make up for lots of things.
Hey, I love on the house. I can't see myself making any profit at all tonight if I've gone at this rate.
Brian went to see the solicitor this afternoon.
How'd you know?
Kevin told me when he came to the cafe.
He doesn't let the grass grow under his feet, does he, Brian?
Not when he's got divorce on his mind, apparently.
It was tasty, that. Very tasty.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Would you like me to make you a nice cup of tea or a nice cup of coffee?
What's going on here?
What do you mean?
Well, you two, you've been clucking round me like an hen ever since I got home from work. Well, not that I'm complaining, like, I mean, it's what the man of the house is entitled to, isn't it?
You tell him, Mrs. Ogden.
Well, me and Sally have been discussing things.
Oh, that just reminds me, I was discussing a pay rise with Brian. Reckons he can give me an extra £5 a week, but that's all.
Well, I think you can forget about money for the time being.
Well, money's a big problem.
Not if you get married and then live here.
Well, both of us.
You don't think I'd be going home every night, dear Kevin? Oh, you can be thick sometimes.
Temper, Sally.
I'm sorry.
No, you both live here and have the back bedroom.
Yeah, but you two don't get on.
Ah, well, it'd be different if you were married, wouldn't it? I mean, what I can't condone as a single couple, well, marriage makes it respectable, doesn't it?
In other words, we can do what we like once we're married.
Well, I never said that.
What do you say, Kev? Well, it's only temporary till I get a job.
Sounds a great idea to me.
Oh, good. Then it's all settled then. We can fix a date. Aren't you going to kiss the bride?
Wow.
Sorry, Mrs. Ogden, we got carried away.
I think it's high time you two did get wed.